My cousin wants me to be a bridesmaid in her wedding to my ex-fiancé, and my family are pressuring me to accept. My ex-fiancé, Zach, got with my cousin, Ashley, 2 months after we broke up. This was 6 years ago. I suspected he had been cheating with her, as they got together so quickly after, but I never had proof until 2 years later. Ashley's sister showed me the evidence after they'd had a fight. Her entire family knew, and it had been going on for at least 6 months before he broke up with me. I'm not very confrontational, so I only sent her a message to let her know I knew, and then blocked her and limited contact with both of them. I'm over it now, and have since met a much better guy. We got engaged last year, and a week later Zach and Ashley got engaged. Now, they're planning their wedding for next summer. Ashley recently reached out to me through her mom to ask me to be a bridesmaid. When I declined, her mom started trying to guilt me into accepting. I eventually told her I would think about it, just to get her to leave me alone. They've since recruited the rest of my aunts/uncles/cousins to try to convince me to be her bridesmaid. I don't want to, but I feel like I have to accept. Do I just suck it up and accept? TLDR. My ex cheated on and left me for my cousin. They now want me to be a bridesmaid in their wedding. I don't want to, but my extended family are trying to guilt trip me into accepting. You do not have to accept. OP should tell her family that her presence at the wedding would do nothing but detract from the attention on the bride, as no one who knows the family and their history will be able to talk about anything other than the fact that the groom is OP's ex, which will inevitably bring up the cheating. As in, OP should make it clear that if they want her there, she will make sure everyone knows the history and that the groom is her ex, followed by a detailed account of the cheating. That should be enough to put them off the idea. No one wants that kind of attention on their wedding day, or to have the attention reallocated to someone else. I get the cousin wanting to invite OP to the wedding, but make her a bridesmaid. OP should make a toast, where she recounts all the wonderful moments she shared with the groom when they were together. She could go on to say that she understands why the bride would want a piece of that for herself. She should then wish them well, and then take the opportunity to announce her own engagement. While she's announcing that, she should turn to the bride and say jokingly, "He's amazing, so I'll be keeping an eye on you." And then laugh it off. Joke, she shouldn't do this, but man, bride would totally deserve it. No, is a complete sentence and answer to an unreasonable request. Normally, I would add that you don't even have to explain yourself. In this case, I would recommend that you reach out to your cousin and tell her no. Then tell her that she has to tell her army of pesteros to back off completely, because otherwise you will have no choice, but to make your no very public with a detailed explanation of exactly why you are declining the invitation. Can I back out of being a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding because the costs are getting high? I am in graduate school and a classmate asked me to stand in her wedding. 2 women in a small computer science department. We've become close over the past 2 years and I was flattered that she asked me. I've never been a bridesmaid before. It turns out that my friend's mother is really planning her own dream wedding, and it's becoming quite the expensive affair. I really had no idea it would get this costly. I am being asked to contribute $350 to the bridal shower. There are 8 bridesmaids. The mother of the bride is throwing a shower for 100 guests, renting a venue, having it catered, and the bridesmaids are footing the bill. This doesn't include the $200 dress I already bought. In the upcoming months I'll be buying shoes for the wedding, must be open-toe silver, hair and makeup on the day, plus the bachelorette party, which sounds like will be a weekend beach trip. Any advice? I've tried talking to the maid of honor about lowering costs of the bridal shower or getting family to pitch in. Maybe the bride's aunts would be willing to contribute. If anyone has any experience being in a wedding, and can help me calm my nerves about spending this money, I'd appreciate it. Technically speaking, I can afford to spend this money. I just tend to be frugal, and would prefer to spend my money in other ways. I guess I didn't realize what I committed to when I agreed to be a bridesmaid. I've never been a bridesmaid, and will likely never ever agree to do this again, so maybe it will be worth it for the experience. TLDR. The costs for being a bridesmaid are really adding up. What do I do? $350 to pay to host a bridal shower that you didn't plan is ridiculous. I'd hope that you could tell them that you still want to be in the wedding, but can't afford to contribute to the bridal shower. If the bride and her mom aren't a-holes, they'll tell you that it's okay, and that all they want is for you to be part of bride's special day. But if they want to kick you out over $350, then that's on them. Who invites 100 people to a bridal shower anyway? What a smelly gift grab. I am being asked to contribute $350 to the bridal shower. There are 8 bridesmaids. The mother of the bride is throwing a shower for 100 guests, renting a venue, having it catered, and the bridesmaids are footing the bill. The one throwing the shower should be the one paying for it. It is unfair for her to expect you and the other bridesmaids to pay so much for the shower. If she can't pay for it or doesn't want to pay for it, she should have asked how much each of you could contribute before making any of the plans. Does the bride know anything about the shower, or is it supposed to be a surprise? I would talk to the mother and tell her that you cannot afford that much, and if you are expected to pay that much that you will have to drop out of the wedding, but you really don't want to do that if the bride isn't the one that is asking for such an expensive shower. If the bride knows/is asking for it, then tell her instead. As a guy getting married this month, no one would be offended if you wanted to back out due to cost. It's a totally understandable reason. The main question is, when is the wedding? I assume this is pretty soon after she asked you or pretty far before the wedding. Like if she only just told you of the costs, then it's perfectly understandable. The only time it would be inconsiderate would be if she told you all this info a long time ago and you are only just now backing out when the ceremony is coming up and she has no time to find a replacement. If she didn't tell you this info until the wedding was right there, then it's on her for waiting so long. You, as bridesmaid, are under no obligation to contribute to a shower. You do not need to attend or contribute toward a bachelorette party. Your job is to be there to witness her wedding and support her. For her mom to expect you to contribute to an elaborate affair is not okay. She's throwing the shower, she can pay for it. Tell your friend's mom that you are unable, due to finances, that you cannot contribute that much toward the shower. Maybe she'll understand and tone it down or be grateful for an amount you are willing to contribute. Do not do what you cannot afford. If your friend gets upset that you're not going to or helping organize the bachelorette party, then she has lost sight of what a wedding party is for. If that is the case, then say you are flattered she thought of you to be a bridesmaid, but you are unable to do so and will be excited to be a part of the wedding as a guest. Since 2013, I have been a bridesmaid 6 times. Not once have I been asked to pay for the wedding shower. Normally, a family member throws the party and they pay for it. 100 people at a shower is frocking ridiculous, in my opinion. That is the size of most weddings I've been to. I have heard of bridesmaids paying for a shower, but it's not the norm where I'm from. When bridesmaids are asked to throw a shower and pay, they are the ones to plan it, set a budget etc. because they are able to agree to something that is reasonable for all of them. The momzilla of the bride is basically using the bridesmaids as funders for her to put on a show that clearly is not about the bride and groom. It's unreasonable and rude, if you ask me. I would talk to the other bridesmaids and see if anyone else is feeling that this is unreasonable. It might be good for several of you to bring it up to the bride together. If all of them are frocking crazy and see no problem with paying that much money, so the bride's mom has free rein to do whatever the frock she wants, and none of the other bridesmaids agree with you, there's only a few options. Pay up and just accept that it was a part of this wedding. Beat yourself up quietly through your smile, whilst posing for wedding photos in your ugly dress and uncomfortable shoes. Out of 6 weddings, I was only comfortable / looked decent in one dress and none of the shoes. This is my own bias. Get more upfront info on costs the next time you are asked to be a bridesmaid. Back out completely, but do it ASAP. She has enough time to get someone else. Have an honest talk with the bride. Let her know how honored you are to be chosen to be alongside her on her special day, but the unexpected shower cost is really not affordable for you at this time. Ask if there is any way she would still have you in her wedding if you weren't able to pay for the shower, or if she would prefer you back out if you cannot contribute an equal share to the other bridesmaids. Do not feel you are alone in thinking that this is unreasonable. It's unreasonable. This should have been made clear to you that this $350 was an expectation from the beginning. You can't surprise someone with a cost like that, and expect them to smile and hand it over without giving them any input on the event. I wish you the best in this difficult situation.